Welcome to Which is Best, presented by Code 3 Games. Today we're going to talk about the PC race for the Aarakocra. Which is best, the Legacy version or the new Monsters of the Multiverse version? Hey everybody, we are now going to talk about the Aarakocra, the PC race today. I'm taking this one. So, the Aarakocra, we have the old version from Elemental Evil, and the new version from Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse. First, starting with our lore, in the old version, we have several background information, just like we do our other races, where we got name suggestions, all that. In our new version, we get 2 paragraphs, and then we get into building the Monsters of the Multiverse stuff. So, point towards the old version to learn what the Aarakocra is all about and to get more details on it. But as far as the traits go, we have our normal ASI increases that we've talked about. Our creature type is now articulated into the humanoid. The lifespan, height, and weight, all of that is the same, just like it is among the other PC races that we have been covering. But let's get to the changes. So first, we have size. Now it is just basically articulated as medium, whereas before we got the size that you're about 5 feet tall and 80 to 100 pounds. So now you have the option to go outside those ranges if you like, but the base size is still medium. The alignment actually in this one has been deleted. In the PC race, it was there. It was initially present, but now you've got the option to play an Aarakocra as in an evil campaign if you like. But you always had that option before. Our first real change here is going to be in our flight option. In the Legacy version, our flight speed, we had a flight speed of 50 feet, and you couldn't be wearing medium or heavy armor. In the new one, it's the same, but your flying speed is equal to your walking speed. So if you can boost your walking speed, you can also boost your flying speed. But generally, that is I call this a debuff because you no longer have the base level of flying at 50. You still have the medium heavy armor trait that you got to make sure you don't have in order to use that. So I'm going to give a point to the Legacy version on that one. Next is our Talons attack. So here, in the old version, and I'm starting to see this in the new versions, this is our power creep coming up. In the Legacy version, the Talon attack was a natural weapon, and you did slashing damage with 1d4 plus your strength modifier. In the new version, all they did was up that to a 1d6, so you get a little bit better of an attack. Problem with that is it doesn't scale. So after about level 3 or 4, you're not going to be using your Talons that much, and if you do, it's not going to be very effective. So yes, it got a little bit of a buff, but is it going to have a big impact on the game? Probably only if you're doing a level 2 or 3 one-shot, something like that. And then finally, we get the Wind Caller is our brand new added part of the Aarakocra, where they can now cast the Gust of Wind spell with that trait and just use that innately. Kind of like the Genasi, which we talked about before. They are getting the couple spells and additions here. Here we get the Aarakocra with the ability to use that Gust of Wind. Now, I do find it interesting that they're using it as a spell casting ability, because you can use Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. Because if this is a creature trait for an Aarakocra, Gust of Wind, I would almost rather see the Gust of Wind be a trait based off of you flapping your wings and have it being a physical thing rather than a magical thing. It seems more based in the physical abilities of this race rather than some innate magicalness of this race. So I see what they're trying to do, I don't agree with the flavor in which they did it. It's probably the easiest for Wizards of the Coast to do it that way, but honestly seems a little lazy to me. So with that, I am going to hold off on which way I'm going to vote to get the other guy's reaction. So Manny, what's your reaction?
I feel like a lot of people that would want to play the Aarakocra would be you know, leaning towards the legacy side just because of the flight speed that you get. Um, I'm not too familiar with the gust spell, but I feel like it's not something that a player would be like, oh man, that's amazing. Let me, I'm gonna pick the Aarakocra for this. You could just do any other spell casting build that could use that spell, so it's not that much of a bonus. So I would have to go with Legacy for this one.
Okay, Sam.
Honestly, I 100% agree. If the trade-off for getting that amazing 50-foot fly speed is got the gust of wind spell and your talons cut a little bit deeper, I don't really think that's worth it, to be honest. I really like how you like look at it where the flavoring was a little lazy, where they could have done it as a physical feature, because honestly you think so, because their wingspan is like really huge, like lore wise. So like that actual gust it could cause with its wings makes sense. Like you could flavor your spell around that, but I think they just did like as ease of use. Because think about like if they published it the other way, there would probably be someone here just saying like that's just a gust of wind spell. That's no special, you know. But I definitely do like how I definitely agree like with basically what's been said. Because your movement speed is like a base 30 feet now, right? Your walking speed with this class,
Right.
with this race, because before it was 20
Yeah,
or 25. So they definitely boosted up your walking speed in case you can't fly all the time. But once again, like going back to like monks and stuff who get those like speed boosts, those speed boosts also applied to your flying. So you could get like a giant leap in distance with flying like really early off the bat. So yeah, just sacrificing that like fight speed I don't think is really worth it. So I'm definitely going with Legacy with this one as well.
And that's the way I was leaning too. I wanted to get your guys' reactions before
Mm-hmm.
that. So for those of you watching that want to play in Aarakocra, check with your DM to see if they will let you use the legacy version. But let's have an official vote on what we're doing. So legacy and Monsters of the Multiverse. Vote in legacy version.
That's
Yeah.
on the left.
Yes.
Okay.
Vote in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Legacy.
good.
Everyone
Good.
votes. This is our first full vote on Legacy version, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks for watching to the end. And remember, check with your DM before you go with the Legacy versions.
And this video is proof we're not just, hyping up Monsters of the Multiverse.